Back to the Mac Effect. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We're kicking off season 2 with a banger. And what I mean by that, guys, I know there's going to be many people talking, many people are going to be criticizing, but I also know it's going to uplift and it's going to bless people. I have shared in season 1, there's no secret of who my first guest is going to be, but we're going to be speaking about things that are very delicate, very home to me. So I've said it in the past, we're going to do our best to be as vulnerable as possible, but at the end of the day, we are going to be protecting what is most valuable to us, which is our marriage, our kids, our family. With that being said, guys, I want to introduce to you the lovely Jacqie Campos.
Hi.
And I got her name right. No,
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Here I am, Jacqie Campos. At home, that's who I am. It's so cool to see you do this, babe. You look so handsome.
It's different, huh?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, well, this is something that has been in my heart for many, many, many years.
Yes, I know.
You have been a huge supporter. You bought me the Rodecaster to record. You got me the camera. These sofas, you brought them back from your mom's
Mom.
storage, and I appreciate my suegra. She's still helping me out. So you're a big person. I've thanked Andrew. I've thanked many people, but I want to thank you, babe, for pushing me, because if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you.
Babe, I love you.
Thank you.
I love you. I believe in you.
Yeah. So because the people know and the fans know, the watchers, the viewers, listeners, they're aware that this podcast is a one-man show. So I'm working all this. I'm doing lights. I'm going to make sure this TV doesn't turn off, and then I'm going to have to turn it back on so that the logo is still there. I'm learning all these things, guys, so please be patient with me. But today, I'm actually not going to be interviewing you. Today, what I really want to start discussing is how me and you met and share the testimony of our lives, because a lot of people know some details. They don't know all of it, but I definitely want to go through that. What do you think?
Let's do it.
We've been praying. We've been asking God.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fear, because we're going to be talking about
Scary.
we're going to be talking about infidelity. We're going to be talking about lies.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about cheating. And these are going to be some hard topics, but good topics at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, well, with that being said, let's start off with sharing a little bit of how we met.
Okay, well.
You'll share your side,
Okay.
then I'll share mine, and then we'll go from there.
I'll go first?
Yes.
Okay. So our official first time meeting was February 17th, 2011. I know that because that's the day that I accepted Christ in my heart, and I was walking out of service and you popped in. And we just started chatting it up. But that wasn't the first time we saw each other.
Yeah.
You've been going to my tío's church for I don't know how many years before that. And I had been going there like when I was a teenager, 14, 15, so I'd always seen him around, but I never talked to him. He actually always kind of made me a little nervous.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Why?
I don't know, because I thought you were a little cute.
Was?
You're still cute right now. You're really...
It's the grays. I know it is.
It's the grays and the bald head, but now you're cuter. He's rocking the pelon. Anyway, so, and even a lot of people don't know, but you were at Jayla's baby shower.
Yeah.
There was a group of
Jóvenes
adultos from church there, a table that my tía set apart, and he was there. And I remember the gift that he gave Jayla for the baby shower. You gave her Dodger onesies.
Yeah.
It was white, blue, and like another color. I remember.
And a gray, yeah.
And the reason, I don't know why I remembered, but it's probably because I kind of thought you were cute or whatever. But we officially met in February of 2011, and I was just happy we were talking. We weren't talking anything about us. It wasn't like he was spitting game or anything. We were actually talking about my brother. Mikey was going through some stuff, and you were just, Mike's always had the heart to like, I want to help people. I want, if he ever needs someone to talk to or someone to listen, I'm here. Just give him my number. So he gave me his number for Mikey.
Yeah.
But
that was my excuse.
On my way down to my car, I text him to make sure that he didn't give me the wrong number. Like, it wasn't even for me, but whatever. And then we just started talking from there.
Yeah.
Texting. I'm going to admit that I was the flirty one. I was the one that was like, I want to make this man mine.
Yeah. But hold up. Before we get to that good part, because I do want to hear more about that part, but I want to share a little bit on my side. So that was your side and how we met. My side, I had been going to church for several years. At that day that we met, I was actually teaching a kids class. So I was in the kids ministry. And I remember there was a special speaker. I don't know who the special speaker was, but I remember my heart just telling me, go, you need to receive something from God. So my assistant, Pobrecita, I left her there. I said, hey, take care of the kids. There was only like 10 minutes left. So it was like the parents were going to come and pick them up anyways. So I started running, or I quickly was going to the church.
Because it was upstairs. So
So I had to go upstairs. The kids' room was upstairs in a separate building. I had to go downstairs, back upstairs into the sanctuary. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because in Andrew's podcast, God showed to me that what I was about to receive was you.
Think so?
Because I thought I was going to go get a word, and it didn't hit me until I did my interview with Andrew that what God was going to show me that day was you. And I don't think so. I know it, because that's where it's vivid in your head and in my head.
Because I
right there.
I wonder, like, if you would have already been in service and I was on my way out, we probably wouldn't have bumped into each other.
Exactly. If you would have gone left, we would have never met. Like, there's so many things, because the stairs were both sides. So you could have gone left where your car was left.
Yeah. But I went down the other way.
And those are the things that that God really hit me like, no, it was destined. I could have left a minute too late, a minute too early. You could have left a little bit earlier, all kinds of things. But that happened, which is crazy.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think I needed to hear that, because a lot of the times, like, it was really hard for us. No one wanted us to be together. And even me, at times, I'm like, it was just a mistake. I shouldn't have done this decision. I rushed into it because that was the day that I was saved. Like, in Christian terms, it's like, oh, you need to give yourself time to be single and heal. And yes, so there's always like these things in my head, or not now, but before, where it's like, this was something we rushed, or this was a mistake. So you saying that is like, I needed to hear that. Yeah.
So that's why right now when you were going, I'm like, wait, before you go with you were pursuing me and all that, we needed to get those details. So once we exchanged phone numbers and you wanted to make sure my number was my number, what happened then?
Then we're messaging. I'm going to be honest, I don't even remember if I gave your number to Mikey.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So
I
didn't do my job.
I don't think so.
But we were just messaging. It wasn't a secret. Like, we were just messaging, talking. I started conquistándolo con chocolate cakes with no frosting.
Yeah, because I don't like frosting, guys.
So I would bake him cakes, take him to church. He would enjoy them. We're just, I think our first, so we met on the 17th, and then your birthday was in March. So we went to Denny's.
3 weeks later, yeah.
We went to go eat. But
after church. That
was not like a real date. That was just like us going to eat after church. I don't know if Jayla was with us.
No.
I don't think she was with us. Because at that time, I only had Jayla. She would go to church with me. But yeah. And then our first official date, Jayla was with us.
Yeah.
And we went golfing.
I took them miniature golfing.
Yes. He drove all the way to my house in Encino. Yeah. Picked us up, and we went golfing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jayla was very, very sassy at a young age.
Yeah, she was not having it. She was 1,
not even 1 or a little bit over 1. I was trying to help her with the putt. Y se enojaba. Y decía, quita, like, no, pues she couldn't speak, but you can tell she was like, I got this. She was sending the ball everywhere, but she got it. That's crazy.
Still is. She's independent.
Yeah.
Has to learn things on her own.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and that's our relationship started progressing, going on dates.
Yeah. I shared with I don't know if it was through the Mac Effect, or if I shared it through Andro's podcast, where when me and you started dating, the first 3 months, I kind of didn't want anything. Not because I didn't want to be with you. I thought you were very beautiful. But because I knew it can stir up problems because of my past. Which, as I'm touching this, I want to be very, I want you guys to be informed. I am aware I am sharing this stuff in a platform where people can cut and paste whatever they want, and they can make it seem like I said certain things. So I'm asking you guys, please, anything you guys hear, get the full context here at the Mac Effect. I think when you see the whole thing, you will understand, because certain things se van a escuchar mal. Like, I can say, like, I didn't want you, and people are gonna
change it,
clip that and be like, he never wanted Jacqie. And it's like, no, guys, that's not what I said. It was a part of a context. If you listen to the whole thing, it means so much more than that. So please, guys, tune in and watch, because I know. And why am I so big on that? Because that's how people are gonna attack us, attack me, attack my wife, attack my children.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm standing up firm for my family.
For us, it's important. It's scary to share our story, but there's like things we need to clear up because it's told incorrectly. And also, we've been through something where God has glorified himself, and we should. It's our responsibility to share that. But it's also scary because we have teenage kids. Genevieve's 10. Like, they can see these edited videos, and we got to protect what they see. It's not about what people think about us, because I really don't care what people think about me, but it's my children and what they're going to perceive. And so, I think that's important. So please just be considerate that we are being bold and brave in sharing our story, and think of our children.
Yeah, thank you. And going back to it, I think that was one of the reasons why I was being held back for quite some time, because I'm like, no, I don't want the family thinking something. I don't want, I don't want to get judged. But that was the reason. And
the thing is, I didn't know at that time. I didn't know anything about your story, who you had been with, who you had dated. I was just like, he's cute, he's nice. He was super detailed, very romantic.
Yeah.
I think that came later. But in my character, I'm very much like, and it's probably not good, I'm not boasting. It's like, my name means go-getter. I get what I want. And I think because you were kind of like standoffish or kind of guarded, I was like, oh, let me show this guy what he's going to miss out on if he doesn't ponerse las pilas.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I was so like atrevida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy you say that, because as we speak some stuff, you're not going to know. Like, I didn't know you didn't know about my past.
I didn't.
So that throws me off to like, oh, okay, no wonder certain things unveiled the way that they did, because they're different. I'll give you an example, guys. Me, my testimony, it's not, I tell people, like, I don't think it's the worst. Like, I was never in the partying scene. I was never doing drugs. I wasn't doing any of that. But what I was is, and I shared this recently with my wife, it's I've kind of grown up alone, right? So I didn't have a father guiding me saying, hey, this is how you behave. Now they would tell me when I was a kid, like, don't do this, don't do that. But growing up in puberty ages, there was no guidance. I'm just kind of learning everything as I goes. So typically people meet people in parties and clubs and all kinds of stuff like that. I didn't do that. I would actually go to church. Like, that was the place. So unfortunately, I built up a reputation where I was looked at as like the little player at church.
I didn't know
because
that.
it wasn't like I dated 1, 2, 3, 4 girls. And I don't even know if the number is like that bad. I don't know. But when it's in a church,
When it's in one pool of people, it does.
even if it's,
Yeah.
and I think it was like 5, to be honest, I'm being vulnerable as possible. It looks bad, right? But that was where I'm trying to figure out things about myself, things about, how things work. Finally, someone was actually liking me and appreciating me too. And I'm learning about the birds and the bees. And I know we're in Christian church, but it's like I had no prior experience to any of this.
It's not like he sat down with his mom and dad and they had these conversations.
Yeah. Or even in high school, I was a late bloomer. So it's not like I did these things in high school either.
Yeah.
I
I
wasn't.
think you
So
said your first girlfriend, you were 18, no?
in high school, my senior year. Yeah. That was my first
crazy.
girlfriend. Yeah. And I
It's
learned.
not a bad thing.
No,
It's
well,
just.
late bloomer, but it is
Yeah.
what it is, right? So in church, yeah, I was kind of known for that, unfortunately. I was devoted to God for reals. I really was. I've been and I am.
People have to understand, like, because you're a Christian doesn't mean you're perfect. Doesn't you still have desires. You still have,
Yeah.
like, you still want to find the person who's going to love you. Like, I just think that, as Christians, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
It just comes with a whole different set of.
And ultimately
judgments.
too, like, I think about it, all of us, right? Like, let's be real and let's be honest. When we look at our 18-year-old self, we can look back right now at the age that we're at and just be like, why was I doing these things? Like, we know we regret a lot of things that happened when we were younger because we were dumb, we were stupid.
We thought we knew everything.
I could easily say I regret all of it, and I do, some of it, right? But the point that I'm getting to is, like, we're also learning. It's part of your life. It's part of your story. It's part of it. So anyways, when I met you, however, I want to be clear, I was actually single for about 1.5 to 2 years.
Oh, dang.
So I, as much as I was looked at as the player at church, it's not like I was purposely trying to hook up with everybody. I was genuinely trying to find my wife. It's not like I was genuinely like, I'm just trying to smash. No, like, that's not it.
Yeah.
But at that time, my last breakup broke my heart a lot, where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on God, church, myself. And that's when you came along. Crazy, right?
Wow. That is crazy.
So in continuance to that, because of my past, that's what I was afraid of when it came to dating you, because I felt like people would look at it like, this guy's only interested in being part of the family. He's only interested in money. He's only interested in this because it was a family member from your family.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And boom, bombshell. Okay, here we go. Like, he's a jerk. He's this. Nothing was done maliciously. Nothing was done with the intent of hurting anyone.
Yeah.
I just genuinely started seeing your heart. I was single. I was healing. And you caught me. Like, it caught my attention a lot.
Well, can I share my side?
Yeah.
Because you were obviously sharing that he was scared and he was kind of standoffish, and he was. At that time, we were just kind of friends. I was obviously kind of flirty. I mean, I remember one time I was like, "Where are you?" And yo le planté
We met
el
up at a
primer beso.
Walmart.
Like, so.
We made out for the first time.
Yeah, outside of Walmart, in front of the WSS.
We got in the backseat of my car.
Stop it, babe. You're going to make it seem like it's...
We didn't do it. It was just
It was a really passionate kiss.
make-out session, yeah.
Again, I was freshly from the world, so God had to do some work in me. But for me, it didn't become a problem. I didn't realize what you were like, standoffish. It didn't become a problem until that person found out. And I wasn't even trying to hide it. I think we were out to go eat, hanging out, and my phone was face up, and your name popped up. A text message from you popped up, and she was kind of like, who is that? What mic is that? And I was like, oh, from church.
Yeah.
And that's when, it got very scary for me.
Yeah.
I got all the reasons why I shouldn't be talking to you, and that I was like forbidden, like I wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like I'm 21 years old.
Yeah.
But
one thing your mom knew, and I learned the hard way myself in our first marriage, and I'm sure other family members know this: you do not tell Jacqie what to do.
no.
You just don't.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. I need to learn to be better, more teachable, but it's in my character to be like, excuse me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was freshly Christian, so I didn't want to be the way I was.
Yeah.
So I did follow the rules. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, but at this time, I had already really liked you. I had grown feelings. So we tried to not talk for a long time. Like it was hard. So I don't know if this was like, I don't remember the time span, how long we had already been talking, but, I was told forbidden, given all the reasons why I couldn't. I didn't really understand because this person didn't give me like all the information. They just said, I was talking to that person, so you can't talk to that person. And, so we stopped talking, but it was hard. It was like going from talking every day and, on the phone, like when people are falling in love and they spend like 3 hours on the phone, that was us. So it was a little bit hard. And then it started like the yes, we're on, no, we're off.
Yeah.
Yes, we're on, which was a roller coaster.
And that was coming more from her side, because after the 3 months, cuando ya dije yo, like, okay, she wants to date me, and I kind of knew she did, and I liked her too, I said, oh, heck no, like, now I want it too now. So we would stop talking once in a while. Either she would have a moment of weakness and she would text me and we would start again a little bit. Then we stop. I would have a moment of weakness. I would text her. We would start talking. But I would be the one to push it more to a higher level, because I'm the one that would like randomly show up to her job. I would wait until she would clock out, and like I would literally be in the parking lot with flowers, excited to see her and surprising her. Like she wouldn't know that I was there until she was walking to her car and doing stuff like that, like letting her know, hey, I like you, and it's very hard to stay away from you.
Yeah. That was very romantic.
Yeah.
That was in a moment we weren't talking.
Yeah, we weren't.
Or
you had no idea.
Don't reach out to me.
I had your friend's phone number, Nena, who was the plug to be like, what time you get out? What time this? And she's like, this and this, be at that place at this time.
Oh my goodness.
Got it.
That's crazy. So yeah, I mean, and it was like, it's hard because on this side, it's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. And blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't understand why it was wrong, but I wanted to stay loyal to family.
Yeah.
But then my heart was like no one had ever treated me that way. No one had ever like gone out of their way. It's not like I worked down the street from where he lived. I worked in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you worked, but like no one had ever made that effort for me. So it was like a big deal. Like it was the first time that anyone was trying to conquistarme, and it felt beautiful.
Yeah.
And it made me feel seen and loved. And it's like, why am I going to throw this away for someone who was talking to somebody? Like, I don't know. I couldn't see it. It took a long time for us. I think for a while we were talking secretly.
Yeah.
Which didn't feel good to me. I felt so bad. I felt so guilty. And I don't know when we decided. I think it was like, I don't know, sometime around September, October, when we decided, you know what? We're going to sit next to each other. Because at this time at church, we would talk, but at church we would not talk to each other. We wouldn't see each other. That person would also go to church with us, so we would have to be like nothing was going on. And we decided, you know what? Like we're not going to protect anyone's feelings anymore. If this is what feels right to us, we've prayed about it. I fasted for so long. Like I was like, same. God, I need you to tell me what to do because I'm torn.
Yeah, and the reason why, one of the reasons why it was something that we would pray for and really be thinking like, why is it such a big deal? Because that other person had moved on already,
that person was already
married.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure if the family had already started, but at the end of the day, had moved on. Just like anyone moves on in relationships, you know, you move on. And so it's kind of like, why is it causing so much pain or so much anguish when, that's actually, I'm afraid to share, but it's the truth. It's genuinely the truth. That's even a question my mother-in-law made.
Like, why does it matter to you?
Like, why does it hurt so much if you're already moved on? I don't get it. Like, I understand it can bother or be a little bit uncomfortable, but like to this point,
yeah,
it's a little strange, but yeah.
Yeah.
So in church, yeah, we would not sit next to each other. We would act like we don't know each other, but I remember, like,
because people were watching.
If I could close my eyes, like I was sitting like in the second level, but then like we would like lock eyes for a minute and just be like, okay, you see me, I see you. Like,
yeah, it was a cute time. Because like, oh my God, he's looking at me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we finally made the decision, you know what, we're gonna sit next to each other, and we're not gonna care what people say.
Yeah.
What anyone thinks, what anyone says. Really, it wasn't like everyone was against it. It was just a group of like, what, 3-4 people? Yeah. Everyone else was like happy for us.
Most people were.
I feel like most people were happy for you because the church had already known you. Like, you had your group of friends. So
yeah.
I was just coming in and.
Yeah. A lot of the church members were definitely happy for us. Yeah. We felt a lot, and we were battling the whole time because we were like, back then, it did feel like something to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Now I understand that it's not something to be ashamed of. It is my past. It is something that I did when I was younger that I mentioned earlier. I understand I can make some dumb decisions. We all can go back to our 18-year, 19-year, 20 years and realize, man, we made some bonehead decisions. I was lost. I'm trying to figure out life. I'm trying to figure out, you know, these things. Like, I didn't know what I didn't even know what a reputation was because I didn't have like a mom and dad tell me, if you keep doing that, you're going to look bad. Mm-hmm. For me, it was just like, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So it was definitely some crazy, crazy times. But one thing that I genuinely love though, babe, and seriously, is that our love took all that obstacles, challenges, people being against us.
It was crazy.
And me and you were still kind of like, but our love is going to endure it.
Yeah.
Our love is going to push through. And one of the biggest factors that helped us genuinely was your mom.
Yeah, she fought for us.
Your mom, at some point, people told her my background and everything. It was so embarrassing for me because I'm like, damn, dude, it's like, why do people need to know my body count and what I'm doing and all this stuff? Like, it's ridiculous, right? But, and I remember the day because I felt so disgusted. Your mom straight up looked at me and she said it like this, and I kid you not, this is how she said it. She said, "You're fucking disgusting, Mike." She said that to me. But hold on. In that same conversation, one, before I continue, one, I understand when we find out people's past, it can be disgusting.
Yeah. So, because I don't want to get out of.
Go ahead.
Out of the.
Yeah.
So that happened way later. That happened right after you asked me to marry you. So Mike and I met in February. We decided to be bold and make our relationship public. I don't know, somewhere around September, October. And people were pissed. Like, Mike got attacked at church, got punched in the face by one of my family members. And yo me aferré más. I'm like, no, I'm going to stand up for him. I'm going to stand with him because this person was so unhappy that we moved forward with our relationship and stopped caring about what people thought. So yo dije, I'm going to stand by him. Like, no one's going to disrespect him, mistreat him. So that it was really hard for, like, I want to say like 2 months where, like, we got sat down, people were talking. It was just so stressful. And I'm like, what is happening? And then in December, he asked me to marry him. We got engaged, which is crazy. Some people are going to be like, oh my God, 11 months is nothing. But it's like, I had prayed, and maybe people would probably say we rushed into it. It is what it is. Like, we're married now. We have a beautiful family, so I'm grateful. And, so that's when this conversation happened. The conversation that Mike is talking about where my mom called you disgusting was after the fact because people were so outraged that we were engaged. And it was really sad because
there was another couple at that time.
Yeah, someone else. There was like 3 other couples that got engaged at the same time.
Yep.
And it probably doesn't seem like a big deal, but when it's a church circle, it's like, it's these group of people, and we felt like no one was happy for us. Like,
amplified, yeah.
Yeah, like it was so heartbreaking. I remember my grandma was there, and she didn't really seem happy about it. And it wasn't even like, I'm thinking now, and I'm like, I remember your mom wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Like,
but not for the reasons of
she was worried.
Yeah, my mom, it wasn't because of my past or anything like that. My mom, she wasn't happy because I'm her baby. And for her, it was just of the unknown, like are they going to make him feel bad because he's not as famous as them?
Or you don't come from the same.
Because when my mom had a conversation with Jenny at the wedding with my suegra, my mom said that she left with so much peace.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, fast forward or rewind back to this conversation. We got engaged, and then someone requested a meeting to have a sit-down meeting, and it was my mom, Esteban, one of Mike's friends, that person, and that person's partner, and me.
No, the person's partner wasn't there.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. So we had a meeting, and it was basically letting me know all the people Mike had been with.
Yeah.
And Mike and I had this conversation. Like, it's when you're dating someone, it's a conversation you have.
Yeah.
And obviously for me, yo no entré a la Iglesia Santa. I had laid down with people. Obviously, I had Jayla already, so I had been with people. And again, it was focused on him because he had been with less people than I had been with, to be honest.
Yeah. You shared that.
Yeah,
You shared that even with your mom.
Yeah, I'm like,
if you're calling him disgusting, like, I've been with more
people. They're just not in the same group of people. But it's like those people knew each other, so what, that makes me disgusting too. Like, I don't understand why it matters. It did affect me because there was one person you didn't tell me about.
Correct.
And that broke my heart.
Which I've shared a little bit in season 1 on an episode called Secrets, guys. I had mentioned this a little bit, but we're touching it now.
Yeah. So I think that affected me in another way. It wasn't like I remember that day, they probably got what they wanted in the sense of like, I need to think about whether we're going to stay engaged. Yeah. I was really sad about it, but it wasn't because, he had been with this person and this person and this person. It's because he wasn't honest with me. Which crazy. I didn't realize that carried into our marriage. Like, I saw you in a different filter. We're past that. Yeah. But still. So you were finishing on that meeting. My mom called you disgusting. Yeah. But
okay. So now we're coming back where your mom said that. And I was going to say that it's funny though, if we all genuinely talk about the skeletons in our closet, we're all disgusting.
100%.
It's just unfortunately mine were coming out. So of course I look like that.
And right now I want to be so petty, but I'm not going to be petty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, right now that you said that, I can definitely be too, but I'm not. So anyways, in that same conversation where my suegra called me, she looked at me and she said, "You're fucking disgusting, Mike." That humiliated me so much. Like, I remember I was on the floor. I put my arms around my knees and I just ducked my head because I felt so bad.
It makes me so sad. And then when my mom says it, like, it's strong.
Yeah. But this is how good God is. In that same meeting sentence,
that day was so uncomfortable.
Your mom also said, "However, if my daughter chooses to love you and marry you, I will love you like my son." That day, I don't know if I shared this with you, but God has given me many signs of how he's real through numbers, through things that happen, through so many, like, he speaks to me with like signs and stuff. But that day, I saw the love of Jesus Christ through your mom, where she said, I'm going to love you like my son. Because she did not BS it.
She meant it.
She meant it, and she did. She started defending me.
Yeah, I remember.
And she started telling me things about the house, and me.
She opened up to you completely.
She started telling me, like, what do you think if I sell? I have this much equity in it. And I'm like, why is she sharing all this stuff with me? First of all, that's a lot of money. Like, why is she even telling me? She showed me a check of one weekend that she came back from Mexico. And I was like, my Lord, this is what I make in 3 years. She made it in 3 days. And
that was her.
And I'm like, why? But
I think she was also testing you.
I think so, because
100%.
as a parent, you're going to test.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that I thank God, because you can see when someone's coming con un corazón de malicia. Mm-hmm. And I think as much as your mom wanted to hate me, and I thank God, if that's the case, que Dios le enseñó, he genuinely loves her. And I think that's what made your mom go like, you know what, dude, money cannot buy this.
Yeah.
And she backed us up so much.
It got crazy. It was, yeah, that meeting was so unnecessary, first of all, but it was very uncomfortable, very difficult. But I feel like I'm glad we went through those things, because it really tested us. Like, if it wasn't love, then we would have been like, it's not worth it. You would have been like, honestly, I like this girl, but it's not freaking worth it to be going through all this BS.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna walk away. We could have, but we didn't. We held on. We fought for it. And for me at that time, this person was someone that I looked up to. Like, this person brought me to Christ. Like, I love this person. So for me to be like, I'm going to go against what I respected this person's opinion so much. I'm going to go against what this person is telling me. Yeah. And I'm going to disappoint this person. It was hard for me. I don't like disappointing people.
Yeah.
But I knew what God was telling me. I would wake up at 5 a.m, pray, read my Bible, fast, ask God, show me. Like, I'm not trying to get with what I want, God. I want what you want for me. And I felt like I kept getting these confirmations. And even now, like, it taught me to stand up for myself, because it was uncomfortable. Like, I remember even when we got engaged, even the ring that he got me was judged.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the ring that he got me was black, because I'm a little bit of a rocker, and someone judged the ring, and it's like, oh my God, why is it black? It's like, that's not of God. And
tiene que ser blanco.
I was like, well, I didn't understand. Anyway, after I did see a change in my mom. Like, well, she had told me once, she's like, honestly, when I saw, and she said it in the speech at our wedding. Uh-huh. She's like, when I saw you guys locking eyes at church, I knew that my daughter was in love. Like, it is what it is. And that person eventually, because my mom's relationship with that person kind of got distance.
Yeah.
They warmed up to, they swallowed it. They swallowed the pill and be like,
they had to, yeah. Because it's either I lose my sister, or I keep her and I have to just endure this. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure your mom was like, dude, you're married.
What does it matter?
You moved on. Like, let's go. And I do want to say, this isn't to judge the other person either. This isn't to go to their social medias and talk crap to them and how dare you. This has happened several years ago. They've moved on from it. We've moved on from it. We're sharing it to be vulnerable with you guys. And because I know there's people out there, I have heard stories, babe, where a guy leaves a girl to get with the sister. Mm-hmm. And they start a family.
Yeah.
And they live in such an embarrassed, humiliated life. And this is the purpose and the reason why we're trying to bring it out, because we want to put those people out there and say, look, I understand it started ugly, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to stay like that.
Yeah.
And I hope that's what we're transmitting and showing people. But yeah.
Yeah, because for us, it's like, we're healed. Even after the fact, we got married. convivíamos with that person. Like it's in the past. But the reason we want to bring it up also is because it's just like one of those things that people try to use to hurt us.
Yeah.
To like a arrow to attack Mike or hurt me or make me feel bad. And
they don't even know the details. That's why we're trying to show the details. Which they're still going to use against us. But it's you guys know. You guys can feel the conversation if we're genuinely BSing it or if we're being real and honest.
And for me, it's like, I'm taking my power back. Like, no one's going to use art, and we're going to say more because there's so much more dirt in our marriage.
Yeah, then we had more crap when we got married.
Like, no one's going to use what we lived against me. I'm not going to allow it because I'm proud of where I'm at. I'm proud that I made this decision to be with you. You're an amazing man. You're a good husband.
A wee.
Oh, my God. Cálmate.
You're an amazing wife.
And it's part of our story, and I'm not going to be embarrassed of it. And that person, when they told me, painted it as it was something so small. It was not important. Like, I don't even know if this person had the title of your girlfriend. That's how I found out. Like, it was just, I talked to that person and that's it. So for me, like, I don't even know if we'll use this, but for me, like when you said that you had been single for 1.5, 2 years, was that person your last person?
It was the heartbreak that hurt me, but it wasn't the last person that I had dated. No, I had dated like 1 or 2 people after that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And if she was my girlfriend, I think it was maybe for like a week or 2 or 3 the most. And then that was it, because it was a very awkward dynamic at the same time as well.
Okay. And do you feel like it was awkward after we had already been married? And obviously, because I love this person and I wanted that person to be in our lives, and they would come over to our house and we would go over their house, whatever. Yeah. Was that awkward for you? Because I never even thought to think like.
For me, it was not, because I was in love with you. I didn't care about my past, or if like in church, one of the things that sucks when you date in church is your friend at some point is going to hook up with your ex-girlfriend, because it's so small.
Yeah.
That's what happens. The whole drama in church is that person was with this one was that one, but that one was over here. It happens. It's kind of what happens in school, in junior high, right? Like everyone kind of dates everyone. Again, I'm a late bloomer. That's kind of what happened in church. It would happen. That person also had people that she dated in church, right? So it happens. But the point that I'm getting to is, no, like it didn't, because my focus was not there anymore. Yeah. My focus was here.
And that makes sense, because like when Danny's around and we have things for Jayla and we're both there, like I don't feel weird.
Yeah.
And I mean, in my head, I'm like, I know I've been with this person. I know I've obviously had sex with that person, but it doesn't like, I'm focused on you, and it's not weird that we're all together in the same space.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get what you mean of like.
And it's funny you say that, because there is times where like where there is a party and I'm like, man, dude, it's crazy. Like they were together at one point. That runs through my mind, right? I'm like, well, they made Jayla, and I'm like, that sucks. But I've never shared it with you. I've never said it, because at the end of the day, I process it internally and with God, and God just tells me, that's the past, Mike. You weren't even in the picture. Where are you now, though? Mm-hmm. And God just tells me, yeah, the same way I have a past, you have a past, we all have a past. And I have to learn to accept it. But where are we now? And what are our goals and plans for our future now? Yeah, so that's crazy.
So?
That's good. So what do you think so far?
I think it's good. It made me really sad. Like,
why? What made you sad?
I think my mind blocked out like that meeting. My mind blocked out a lot of things. Like I remember living it, but then like the imagery of you like sitting on the floor, like embarrassed, or even imagining that someone came and slapped you, like it makes me so sad. Like not slapped you, punched you, I don't know what it was, but it makes me sad. But I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately we needed to have that adversity.
Because little did we know
everything we were going to go through in the past, and how aferrada I was going to be